Hello, this is Damien again for part 2 of my assignment. Just so you know, I just recorded the first part over there, and I was getting some, just with the screen recording, I was getting some drops, not just frames, but like whole seconds that got cut out of the recording. So, fair warning, that might happen. This is my adder. You see we have the 16 bits. Top inputs are these levers on the top are A. This is B. I have the values of each one laid out on signs right here. 256 there, going all the way down to 2 and 1. These are the carry, borrow in inputs and the mode input. And then on the top is the output for the actual addition and subtraction, and then right here is the carry or borrow out. So let's get into how this works. You'll see with the A inputs here, these are on lamps again, just to make it clear whether it's on or off. These inputs get taken on these lines on this level here, down here, and then from here they're sent out. We need all this space just to distribute them and space them out enough to get into these full adders, which I'll explain in a minute. But so they need to get out to the adders, and each one goes to, they come down here and spread out a little bit immediately, and then go into these XOR gates. And these are XOR gates, and it's just kind of a coincidence that they look like X's on the back. But yeah, these are the XOR gates. It's just a design for how you make them. And basically, these are feeding the XOR gates along with this, which is running underneath everything else. This is coming from the mode bit. The mode bit outputs to here, and this also goes into each one of these XOR gates, so that the B that goes through to the adders is the actual input that you gave it, XOR the mode. So if the mode is 0 and it's addition, then, but if the mode is 1, it's going to invert all the B inputs. So that's how you invert B. And then similarly, you have this XOR gate down here is the mode XOR the carry in or borrow in bit. So it'll, by default, if you change the mode to subtraction, it'll carry something in so that the subtraction goes through correctly. But if it's in addition mode, it'll only carry something in if you have the carry or borrow in bit set to 1. So it's kind of lined up with the rest of these XORs, but it really does something completely different. Similarly, while we're over here, this is the output from the last carry out. I don't know why this delay is set. So that will also XOR with the mode. This is coming from the mode. It inverts a couple of times, and then so this output is the mode XOR the output from the carry. Sorry, the carry from the most significant bit. Yes. So anyway, let's get down here to the full adders. Let's go to one over here with less lines over it, because you have the output lines going over a lot of them, especially in the middle. So you have the A input coming in from here, and this will go into, this is an AND, it'll also go to the other side of the AND gate, the other side of the XOR. And then you have the carry in, which in this case is coming from over there, and the rest of these will be going just along from one adder to the other, obviously. This will also go into this XOR gate and this AND, so this will be the second half adder. And then the output from this XOR, which is the output for the first half adder, will go into the AND and go into the XOR. So we have one half adder and another half adder, the output from the first one, the carry, along here, up, and then back down into these upper lamps to show you whether or not that output is on, that bit is on in 1 in the addition or subtraction. So you can see, and here, the AND gates that here A and B are attached to, and then here the output from the first half adder and the carry are attached to the next half adder, the next full adder. Sorry. So this is kind of ORing these together. So if either one has a carry out, it'll carry out into the next adder. And then you basically just have this pattern going along, all the way down. This is, I think, 145 blocks long. You go all the way down, like, getting a little bit trapped. Go all the way down, it's like, be equivalent in, their equivalent of real world distances, like, 145 meters. So this thing's a little bit less practical for real life than, say, a calculator or just an actual computer. But then, yeah, you have these output lines that send the signal back. You have this carry out, XOR the mode. And let's do some demonstrations. So you'll see if I flip some of these levers. We'll do that, and it's giving me some lag now. Plus, I could get 37, and that'll give us 42, which is correct. This is 42. And then, so we can flip this mode input. This will be subtraction. So this will be, what will it be? I don't remember. Oh, when we flip to subtraction, we have some, like, cascading. I don't really know exactly why that is. It's to do with, like, when the carry-in changes and the inputs change. But we end up with the right result, which is 12. Yeah, 27 minus 15 is 12. So that's that. Let's go back to addition real quick, and we'll demonstrate the carrier borrow in. This thing also causes some lag just because there's so much changing back there every time I flip one of these. If we change the carrier borrow in, we will... It's really being slow. Okay. It didn't let me change it. If we change that, it'll be 43 instead of 42. It makes sense, because we're just carrying an extra 1 in. If we change back to subtraction real quick, again, we'll have the outputs kind of cascading up, but then they'll clear out and give us the right thing, which is, are they all off? There we go, it's 12. And if we flip the borrow in now, this will be 11 instead of 12. So you can see that just subtracts 1, as it's supposed to, I think. What else do we need to demonstrate? Oh, if we switch these, let's do that, come on. So now we have 15 plus 27, still 42. If we subtract now, though, we should get negative 12. And let's do that and see if it works. There is our negative 12. Come on. Okay, last lamp is on. There's our negative 12. That should be what we want. And then if we borrow into this, we subtract 1. Just like before. Excellent. Let's see. Then let's demonstrate the carrier borrow out output and show that that actually works. Because honestly, I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but I think I understand what it's supposed to do. How it's supposed to behave. It takes a little while with all the lag. Come on, come on. Let me do it. Okay. Put this mode back. Change it. Okay. Doing the screen recording at the same time while this is happening, I think, is slowing things down quite a bit. So eventually this will actually clear out back to 0. Only take. So this is 0 again. And for addition, it should just give us a output. So this will make the carry out from this bit 1. And in fact, that turns this on, which is what we want. If we change this, should also be okay, right? Yeah, because we're subtracting, this should be 0. We're subtracting, wait. Yeah, we're inverting that. I'm confusing myself now. Okay, so that will not give us that because there isn't, wait. Yeah, because there is carry out, because we're inputting a bunch of 1s. But if we, that number, this positive number, no? How does, is everything off? So if everything's off, we just have 0. These are all 0s, and these are all being input as 1s, because they're all inverting. And we turn this on. No. Yeah, that'll give us this, because there's no longer an output carry out, because we're subtracting 1 from all of that. we had, yeah, 2 inputs into everything, so we had a carry out. Now we don't have a carry out anymore, or yeah, carry out from the sign bit, and so this is active because it's XORed with the mode. So that is pretty much how this works. Again, if you have specific questions about how any of this works, or how I did this, or things I did wrong, let me know. I can demonstrate without this horrible frame rate and extra lag. And that should be all for this one. Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot something. I saw when I was running around in my my adder here something a little weird. If we go to, what is it, bit 32 and follow this line, there's something a little unusual. It wasn't really supposed to be part of the machinery. What is this right here nestled in with all this other stuff? Ah, okay. Guess that's important.